able to keep him alive with potions, coils, whatever there was. Will this happen again, or does Foggy have another approach? This is the first time these two meet in 6 weeks. Foggy, what kind of magic spell can you cast on the Emperor?
Yeah, in the past, these two kept on meeting in ESL Open Cups. It was really fun to see them go head-to-head, time after time, week after week in the Grand Final, and look at their development through these weeks. Some weeks, Foggy got extremely close, with 2 to 3 defeats. Other weeks, it was very one-sided, with Happy standing victorious, but in the end, it was always Happy winning. Now, there having been a break since they've played last, I think may come in handy for Foggy. His special strategies perhaps will come as more of a surprise, and these builds have forced the utmost out of Happy before. Also starting off on Amazonia, a decent map for Foggy. Normally AZ and Echo Isles were the best maps for Foggy. Usually, the smaller the map, the harder it is for Undead Tri-Hero to become super strong, and for Happy to come fully into his own in the Super Late game.
There's a clause of attack as a start, and you know, when Happy were losing a couple of maps in the beginning of the year, we said there is a theme. Okay, I said it. There is a pattern. If his opponent gets some claws, then Happy looks decently vulnerable. And Happy was trying to mess up the Lightning Shield creep with the Acolyte here, but Foggy fixed that in pretty much a heartbeat. So there's level 2, Cloak of Shadows. Happy has perfect information. So what's happening on the other side of the map? It is a ghoul build.
Yeah, interesting. It's the new variation of the ghoul build that we also saw earlier in the Asian part of the DreamHack competition, where 1-0 played it. So it's still a fast ultra and a ziggurat, the crypt delayed, but then going for ghouls after, not going for a graveyard. Delaying the fiends for a long time, and that makes sense on this map. On Amazonia, with a lot of creeps being medium armor, and with enough normal damage, you being able to snipe items easily, ghouls are definitely very beneficial. You can go for the Taskmaster camps in the middle quite easily, perhaps even the Renegade Wizards. And it's going to be up now to Foggy to make sure this DK doesn't level too fast with his ghouls.
Well, level 2 you can't really prevent on AZ, but let's see how much damage he can do. That one goes to Happy, getting mana burned right away. Can't be surrounded really this early. Okay, doesn't want to commit to this. Sets the next coil up. That's the last one. Gets the surround finally. Well done by Happy. The Wisp is ready. Goes for the detonate. Lots of HP lost on both sides. The archers are here. Seems like Foggy expected this, but he's still in a surround. New skeletons. Demon Hunter. Cloak. There is no reveal.
He's holding this round over here, sending something over to the lab, so it's going to be a reveal and then a TP out. Always get worried with Foggy in these moments. So the TP lost early isn't the greatest, but the DK's leveling slowed down and 2 ghouls taken out. I think that's still a pretty decent trade here for Foggy.
And Foggy moved the archers away. He wants to stay in the north. He wants to contest Happy. And I remember when Happy was playing this ghoul build for the first time against Foggy on this very map, Foggy was hopelessly lost. He was so overwhelmed. He was so unprepared and just got demolished. This is not the case here. Goes for the boots, goes for the staff. Is he prioritizing this right, Remo? Should he go for his own level 3 or should he keep on pressuring?
Yeah, I like the play so far by Foggy. Normally you want to be purely considering creeping for the Demon Hunter, get level 3 as fast as possible. But if you go up against a ghoul build, especially on AZ, the simple truth of the matter is that Undead can just creep way faster than you early in the game, so you need to play aggressively. I like the play so far by Foggy. The difficulty will now be to also find the right transition to move over into creeping himself, because a fast level 3 demon will be required moving towards tier 3 here. Now a surround could be coming in. Demon gets encircled, but he has the staff for exactly this reason. And Happy, yeah, without a second hero here at the moment, can't contest the map too well. That's what we see the Naga creeping in the middle and getting the next item.
Okay, Foggy not getting... Oh, okay, I was worried that this is denied, but wasn't. Can't contest anything in Happy side of the map, but he's making sure that he's getting this camp. And now he's 1 kill away from level 3. Happy, aggressive, but there is a Shadow Melt. Okay, and the reveal right after Naga versus Naga battle in the middle of the map.
It's only one ghoul here for the level up, but that one doesn't come too easily. The Naga at the moment for Happy still works out. It's so close, man. If this demon gets to 3, it changes everything. Suddenly the Naga becomes very underwhelming, but it's just that one little bit of experience that's missing. It's not even just a ghoul, dude. One more skeleton in the early would have been enough, but it wasn't quite. And that is the level we're playing at here. Now Foggy has lost 2 archers of his own, which isn't great, but at least now he's got the level 3.
It's a fair trade, I guess. 2 ghouls on Happy's side, 2 archers on Foggy's side. Ghouls, of course, for the first big push, really important, especially with Frenzy. So I think taking them out early is more important than taking out archers early, even though their damage is pretty good in the long run as well. But they are not a staple of the army. Double Engine of Lore, tier 3, this paves the way. And the Acolyte goes down as well. He brought home a lot of information, though.
Still no Fiends at all. Normally Happy always goes fast into Fiends, but as we talked about earlier on this map, Ghoul opening definitely very beneficial. I wonder if that's something that's gonna reoccur in this series, or if this is just specifically for AZ. Pretty even game here so far, but Foggy is starting to fall behind a little bit in levels. Ideally in the mid game, the Demon Hunter level 3 slows down the undead by himself, cripples his creeping as much as he can, and the Naga with Ancient of War will creep up across the map to a fast level 3 herself. That is the best case scenario for Night Elf. But Foggy's playing this more aggressively, with the Demon Hunter and the Naga right in the opponent's face, has the slow here from the Naga, and will get Dryad slow momentarily.
That was so close. The arrow was already in the air, just centimeters away from the creep, but Happy gets the last hit. Here's the first Fiend, and waiting for the Lich, trying to take out more ghouls. He has the staff ready. No staff of preservation, so this will take some time, but he gets the ghoul in revenge for the creep that he didn't get. Now with Dryads, of course, a little bit of crowd control in as well. No dispel yet, but the Adept upgrade for the Bears is ready, so we see clearly where the priorities are. Focus Fire on the Naga, good damage, might force a potion. No mana at all, so he doesn't have to be worried about Fork Lightning at all, because there is no Fork Lightning, and also not about Coil, because there is no mana. Good pressure in the mid game by Foggy.
They're both playing around each other so well, knowing exactly about their own power level, their opponent's power, and what's going to be the next spikes coming in. Now with the statue out, this is really hard for Foggy to stay in. He did a decent job here slowing down the opponent. Oh, that coil hurts a little, but without Nova, I suppose is fine. Problem for Foggy is if he just retreats now, heals up, he's giving a lot of time to the opponent to creep up more. In fact, with the Reju, there's a little bit more staying power for Foggy, but at the very latest with the Lich and the Orb, Foggy will have to fall back. If he gets the Taskmaster here on his way home, I think that's pretty good for the Ukraine.
I agree. He is on a timer though. He's distracting more with the heroes. He's creeping with the units, so multitasking for Foggy is so hit or miss. Sometimes he gets overwhelmed and tries to be too flashy, and sometimes he's absolutely on point, and that seems to be the case here. Overseer killed Naga close to 2, circlet for him, and in the main base we see more Dryads, master upgrade done. Foggy has arrived on tier 3. Now it's time for the orb on both sides.
I love how they're both doing every little thing that they can. Did you see the min-maxing there of the items? The circlet drops in the tome. The Naga picks up the circlet, but the Agi tome is picked up by the Demon Hunter, because every little thing is being squeezed out of this game by Foggy. Unfortunately, one archer there gets decapitated, gets stoned, just like in the Bible. But, well, it's mostly about Dryads and Bears now anyways. And the Naga gets decent experience here. Big mana potion, not too bad for her. Level 3 now is what she needs. And then Foggy is looking kind of strong. But Happy is also getting stronger. He's got the Lich out. He's got now the Orb and Frenzy as well.
And speaking of big mana potions, Happy finds it as well. This is the theme of DreamHack Fall. Mana potions everywhere. There's a discount or something. They overproduce them and now have to give mana potions to seemingly everyone. And we know how scary that is, especially since with the Demon Hunter, you really want the heroes to be very low. It's getting harder if you go for triple hero already to burn all of them. And now with the big mana, you can't prevent certain spells anymore.
Big item here for Happy. What's he gonna get? Root Bracers. Can help, but not really the good aura he was hoping for. Foggy now, he's got the staff, he's got the orb. Master Bear training is done. He's getting creep-jacked, but Foggy might be more than willing to take a fight. Ghoul's getting attacked right away. Great Dryad micro here as well, pulling them back instantly. Destroyer's morphed, focus on the demon, but he's still looking fairly healthy. Dryads kiting back further. Bears having a tough time actually connecting. Next Fog Lightning comes in. More ghouls in trouble. Foggy really improving his Dryad play. Looking almost Moon inspired over here, but he has to fall back further into the main. Back to the Moonwells. The Moon Juice there is looking decent. Bears and Demon untouched. The Dryad's still alive. And Foggy's taking a damn good fight over here.
Looks like it, but let's see. He's going for the Lich, and this time he gets it with the mana burn. Not even the big potion could help him here. Happy stumbling. Happy in trouble. Happy continues bleeding in DreamHack fall.
The crucial difference maker here was the Dryad micro. There was oftentimes a weakness by Foggy in the past, not microing fast enough, not kiting fast enough. This time he pulls back the Dryads very quickly, makes sure he makes it hard for Happy to find the kills and dive in a little too deep into that Night Elf army. Great fight by Foggy. How can he now capitalize on it? He's deciding to expand away from the natural, interestingly. He has crept it already, but he wants it to go unscouted for a little bit longer.
Okay. Maybe it will come in as a surprise. Maybe Happy is expecting it, and the normal play would be to plant it right next to the gold mine. Oh, this could be a nasty creep jack right here. 3 heroes, but without the orb, without the lich. Oh, coming now, just a tiny bit too late. Going for the wisps first, so that can't be used as a detonate. Massive spell on the skeletons.
First mana burn, the DK was good. Would love to see more. Last second staff saves the bear, but that's the only staff, so another one might be going down. Demon Hunter needs to throw out more burns, does so now on the Lich. But honestly, Foggy's army at the moment isn't that big. One Mountain Giant still in production. That one's soaking up a lot of supply. There's a sentry placed, one Fiend is taken out, but another bear goes down and a Dryad, and that's suddenly 11 supply lost.
Foggy's obsession with the Lich continues. One Dryad. Oh, the statue doesn't block, but gets killed. And with that, the Lich should be saved. Demon Hunter still chasing, though. Can he make it to the shopper? Will the Lich fall for the second time? Turns away as he sees, oh, my Naga is in trouble. Has the staff. And this time, the statue is blocking a bit. But the Demon Hunter is too healthy. Happy's revenge.
Yeah, Happy back in the saddle now. Happy suddenly has a lead. That was a great fight, the first one for Foggy to take. Then he gets a little over-ambitious, going out far on the map, not deciding to retreat, but to take a fight when he didn't have the necessary army size yet. He lost 2 bears and 2 Dryads for only a single Fiend. That is something you cannot afford to do against Happy. He's going in again, trying to get that Lich kill, but it doesn't work out. There's a coil item, does go to Happy as well. This time it's the flute, great item. Demon Hunter in trouble. There's no staff, has to be transferred again. Demon is safe, but now Foggy is left without his first hero. Loses another bear, and Happy's getting further and further ahead.
Foggy bit off a little more than he can chew. Oh my god, one for the highlight reel. Art of Warcraft are you watching? A wonderful surround. And now what? Against the ropes he is. He needs a huge lariat, but he's just getting pummeled. Nuke ends up on the Demon Hunter. He's so hurt. No Riju running. The Mountain Giant is killed. Oh my god, the comeback of Happy's so sick.
Foggy made so much use of his Moon Juice, he has barely anything left. In fact, the Demon didn't even have mana for the burn there for a while. And now Happy on the warpath. 4-3, 2 hero levels. Very strong, and the Lich level 3 might not be too far away. Sees the Tree of Life over here, which was just a lot of wasted gold.
So far, yeah, now it's buying some time, but of course a very, very, very expensive time. And now what? Foggy is down to mostly Dryads. The 7th supply Mountain Giant. This hurts so much. That was just an anti-timing right there. Lots of dispels, lots of mana used on these illusions. Wisps are coming in, want to drain more mana. There's no Coil Nova, want to repair a little. So far he holds this Expo. Now there's the next Mountain Giant.
Alright, what can the taunt do? One Fiend here getting burrowed, another bear is falling. Very little damage for Foggy only left. The Demon Hunter needs to spread the Orb of Venom, needs to keep on burning, target after target. But now Happy has this big army. With 60 supply, there's a lot of focus fire potential. Not so easy for the Demon to go in and not be forced out immediately.
Repair Wisps still there for a very limited time, but he got some HP on it. If Happy retreats here, Foggy's Expo is most likely established. But for that, he has to survive.
No armor upgrades of these Dryads, man. The Fiends just need to look at them, and then they quickly fall, like we see right here. Fiends with 1 attack upgrade of their own, and of course the Flute doing quite a bit of damage over here. Fog Lightning coming in over the top. That seems like it's the only kind of damage that Foggy has anymore. Everything else is getting healed by the statues. Statue mana is super low, so not that much sustain anymore, but I'm sure Happy will be getting more soon. But he's been sitting at 60 supply here for a while, hasn't lost anything in the last couple of minutes.
Taunt is distracting. Taunt is buying more time. I wonder if there's more repair on that tree. Fog Lightning again. Demon Hunter. Staff out. But yeah, limited Moon just has to go for Moonstone. Units are falling into orange and red for Happy, but the statues are healing against it. Now focusing onto the tree, and that's the kill. 0 gold mined with that expansion.
Foggy needs the heal scroll extra bad. Bought one, used it, and now it's daytime. Oh my god, the moon juice is empty already. The wolf is at the door, and Happy's looking to close out the first game. Demon once again saved. Good staff plays here by Foggy, but the army size just purely is not recoverable anymore. We have 3 levels up at the same time across 2 different armies. Happy is losing some units now. Another destroyer here falls, perhaps some fiends, but the demon, I believe there's actually no healing left for him anymore. Another staff, perhaps. No, it's over. GG. 1-0 for the Emperor.
And a great game here to start the series with. That first big fight by Foggy was really well managed. It's really that fight at the bottom right. I think maybe getting the tree and going into giants at the same time might not have been the best of ideas. Maybe just getting more units would have been better. And Foggy actually had sentry wards as well. If he had just set that up slightly above the mercenary camp on the bottom right, he would have seen Happy coming. He could have just moved back and waited a little bit. But no, he had to fight a little bit of the creeps and a little bit of Happy at the same time. And that just started going south from there.
But we see Foggy is prepared. Foggy is competitive. If he keeps his nerves intact, and there's definitely a shot here for him to tie this up, to make this close. We go into a little break, and then map number 2. One map in the books, hopefully 4 more to come. Happy versus Foggy showing us again what the pinnacle of European Warcraft is, and that already in the round of 8. But it's the same story as every time, right? You can't make mistakes against Happy.
Yeah, it's really hard. Like, you just have to play as flawless as him, but he just makes so few mistakes himself. That first fight, we look at it as like some sort of big victory for Foggy, but he wasn't really even. Like, right, he won that fight, he forced Happy back, but it's not like he killed one of the hero and then put Happy in big trouble. They still just traded a decent amount. But yeah, Foggy got out of that fight ahead. I think it's just the choice of going to Giants maybe a little too early and also trying to expand at the same time, even though it's Amazonia, you know, like going for more units and creeping the map might be better to make sure that you have enough. But then, of course, if you don't start that tree and then Undead somehow sets up an expansion, then you've also lost. So it's like really tricky like that. But we headed to Last Refuge now. And I was looking at their match history, specifically like each series. It seems to be one of the maps that Foggy has won quite a few games on.
Yeah, in the past he was able to play a very different strategy here. At first it was Keeper, Alchemist, Mass Air and stuff, of course, but then he started playing Demon, Naga, Mass Air, which I think is much stronger nowadays. And most recently, a lot of development has been going towards Mass Archer play. Moon showed that that's playable, even against Undead, but it's hard to pull off, and I wonder which strategy Foggy is going to play here now. Of course, Demon, Dryad, Bear, with an expansion at some point into MG is also possible. A lot of different strategies here that Foggy can choose from now.
Okay, I'm really curious now, because there was one thing that Foggy displayed a couple of weeks ago that I think was very, very promising. But for that, first we have to load into the game. Last Refuge, map 2. There we go. In the bottom left, once again, fighting from downhill against the Emperor. For Sparks Esport and the Ukraine, it's Foggy. And his opponent, the champion of Europe in the summer, and usually every time there's a competition for the Undead Scourge, it's Happy.
Normal builds here so far. Question is, what first hero is Foggy going to choose? Demon or Keeper? It's going to be one of the two. Keeper seemed unplayable for a while, but Lawlight and Moon have proven otherwise recently. There is the Keeper once again.
Whoa.
So, gonna be more of an earlier expansion, focused play this time around. You can't really afford to rush tier 3 with the Keeper, one base against Undead. He's just simply not good enough. Destroyers will hard counter him too heavily later, so there will have to be an expansion at some point. Tier 1, maybe tier 2, maybe on the way to tier 2. And there's also different ways to play this. In the past, of course, it was Mass Archers with Alchemist into Mass Air then, but especially on LR, a strategy that Moon has shown with pretty good success is Keeper with fairly quick hunts into Mass Air and a Demon Hunter second. Of course, Foggy is a big student of Moon, takes a lot of inspiration from him, so I wonder if that's what we're going to be seeing.
Yeah, I was definitely expecting a Demon Hunter with Naga play. The high-level Naga here on this map looked really promising for a while, but maybe I'm a little out of touch there in the second hero Night Elf department. First blood for Foggy. Good sign. And no deny here. Circlet, nice to have. But Happy, he wants to continue brawling, wants to continue fighting. He's rushing over right away with a Tet Fiend build order. Oh, Happy Fiend build order.
Exactly. Different build this time, no longer the ghoul opening. It's great for creeping on AZ. On Last Refuge, not really. There's tons of ensnares, which can make you lose ghouls. There's not that much medium armor. All the camps are kind of weird to engage with melee units. So, yeah, quick fiend transition. A lot more beneficial usually. Undeads most recently have been starting to play ultra aggressive against Night Elf again without any kind of creeping, trying to slow down the first hero, whether it be Demon Hunter or Keeper, even keeping them away from level 2. There could be an attempt of the undead creeping themselves up to level 1.7, maybe even level 2 themselves. But with Wisp detonates coming in on this map, it's super dangerous. At the High Priest, it might hurt. At your green camp, it might not even be worth it too much. So yeah, very little creeping here on LR. That is the most recent development. And I think Foggy kind of fine with this. The Keeper here is keeping a distraction in the north. And in the meantime, we have a Tree of Life coming up. A quick scout, though, by the Skeleton. And on LR especially, you can get the creeps involved if you want to.
How good is Happy's creeping? Is Happy scouting in the past weeks? It's so insane. He always finds everything every time. But Foggy is kind of getting ready for us. Has a Wisp here for more skeletons. Has even a Huntress here saying, hey, guys, not in my home. So you can't, of course, kill the skeleton immediately. But what you can do is re-aggro the creep. So they take care of the skeleton here and not of the tree.
Yeah, it needs more than one skeleton here around. Otherwise, that one just gets ensnared and nothing happens. The DK is really the one who needs to show up. And that is the weakness of the Happy build. You only have 4 ghouls on lumber. You can't really bring them in aggressively because then you're gonna have a wrecked economy. So you have to hope that your skeletons and DK might be enough for a cancel. Maybe with the creeps, maybe with an acolyte. But as you say, Foggy is ready. He's got a Wisp around. And this Tree of Life should be finishing.
And again, the Huntress here, not used in the fight, not used for creeping, but just to distract creeps from a skeleton. That's a nice counter. He was expecting this from the get-go. He was planning with this, and he was countering this.
Yeah, this is the Moonstrap I was talking about. This is how Moon played here not too long ago. Keeper hunts into expansion quickly, and then mass air later on with the Demon Hunter. And 1-0 lost to it first, and then they met shortly after, like a week or so, and then 1-0 was able to get the win by going surprisingly into Gargoyles. I haven't seen Happy play Gargoyles in I don't know how long, so this is pretty questionable if he's going to go down that route. Doesn't look like it. Fast tier 3, Lich Slaughterhouse, and with that most likely Fiends, but they're not even out yet.
It will take some time, and the tree is waddling over already. Foggy always with the Moonwell here at the expansion to help in the defense, to get some regen on the important units. His tier 2 at 2/3. So Happy still has some time. The Keeper level 2 as well, not too scary. But this spell for Happy is also very far away. So I guess he's gonna have level 2 Entangle when it hurts.
Yeah, only little green camp here will be enough. Pulls it, gets the kill. And now he needs to make sure he has Wisps on the map to figure out where Happy is. This is an amazing position for Foggy. This early game plan is working out wonderfully. And Happy is just going for Fiends, not adjusting with Gargoyles or anything. But, you know, one step at a time. Just because you get ahead against Happy doesn't mean you will win. And as good as this build is, especially against the Happy opening, it does have one big downside. That is the slow tech. As only now the tier 2 is finishing with the Tree of Ages coming up. It's very tempting now to go into Alchemist because you're going to have him much faster. But that hero will fall off heavily later. But seems like Foggy still does it.
Okay. Entangle, Acid Bomb, like good old 1.30 times. We see the Watch Award again by Foggy in the middle of the map. We will see Happy when he is coming in. And his expansion is soon starting to mine. Does he... like, has he weathered the storm yet? I'm not too sure, but what I like about this is that he takes the consumables away.
Yeah, it's not like Alchemist is bad, it's just a lot worse than Demon Hunter in the very late game. But right now, for mid-game tempo, he's very good, especially, as you say, to creep these consumables away. Happy played it safe, kept the Fiends in the main to not give any easy target to the Keeper. The Skeletons and the Heroes should always be safe, especially with statues around. Foggy even doing it here well, with the Keeper still able to slow down Happy, while the Alchemist keeps on creeping. If he should get a fast level 3, which here now at the Merc camp he might, that's wonderful for Foggy.
Okay, he has a Sentry Ward there as well, so if Happy decides to go for an expansion, he will know. Oh, the Alchemist playing with fire, gets a Devotion Aura, which is really nice. Counters half the Orb of Corruption in the Focus Fire. That's amazing.
Yeah, this build for Foggy. He had it tailor-made or, adjusted, I guess, from Moon's previous showing. Working out really well here so far. But the question is, once Happy gets to 50 supply, maybe 60, can you still win fights, or are you gonna get out microed?
Yeah.
Mass air can be very strong, but the top undeads play against it really well. The micro potential, just the nature of the armies, is much higher for the undead. With splits, with focus, with web, with kiting, most notably. With his mass air style, it's pretty limited. You throw an acid bomb, you use entangle, and you target one fiend after the next. It's not that high of a skill ceiling, which means that Happy has the potential to outplay Foggy here in the late game.
Absolutely. It was long time, like it wasn't a strategy for the longest time that you go archers, then hippos, then hippo riders, and then fairies. This strategy is a little different. You start with hunters and then go directly into fairies. So hippos can't be nuked. Wand of the Wind, by the way, amazing. Hippos can't be nuked. Fairies can't be nuked, so they are not that susceptible to the Lich, so he doesn't level the Lich too well. Plus, you have some damage on the Fiend. You have Entangled, Treants, and Huntress against the Fiends. And then, if there's no anti-air, Mass Fairies can be scary. Second shop. Happy is ready for the push.
Foggy doing a great job creeping, man. He took so many camps so swiftly, gets a big invul potion now, which is helpful. Also getting a heal scroll. Foggy doesn't have that big of a supply count yet, but really good items and a decent army. One Moonwell is going to be lost. Foggy comes in for the TP. Should be... oh, look how he's TPing. Very far away, so he doesn't get mega silenced right away. That's
wow.
Smart.
Okay, but I'm a little worried about his production. He rebuilt this, so he wasn't supply stuck for a long time. He has a lot units queued as well. So now he's supply stuck though. 57. Is that enough to defeat Happy? First coil ends up on the Fiend almost perfectly. Wand of the Wind though. Can he prevent the coil this time? This is one kill.
That Wand of the Wind might be winning Foggy the game. There's no destroyers here to deal with it. You need against Entangle and against Wand of the Wind. There's a little bit too much to deal with perhaps. Foggy going for the second hero Lich, but he gets the coil there barely in time. DK now almost out of mana. No coil at the moment, only gonna have another one in a few seconds. Hunting after the Fiends now next. And there's only 2 of them left as well. Where are the webs, by the way? I wonder. We won't be seeing them perhaps because only a single Fiend left standing. Foggy looking amazingly good now in this map number 2.
And now he's going for the statues as well. Take out the regen with the Mana Flare form. Happy is losing unit after unit after unit. Ghouls are falling. Where's the damage? Where's the army? Only heroes left.
Foggy's mass air works out here once again. The hunts into mass air. This is what Moon showed us, and Foggy here plays it really well. Happy didn't adjust. Didn't do it like 1-2-0 and went into gargoyles, which probably is the strat you should play against this build. And now Foggy with another kill gets level 4. Wow, how fast was this Alchemist level 4? He's at the shop. He can go for more items. He has that big flock of mass fairies. Happy in a tough spot, but he's not out of it yet.
Incredibly
higher levels. More kiting potential, more fiends. This is still winnable.
Incredibly important, by the way, that this Moonwell with 13 HP at the mercenary camp stayed up. Otherwise, Foggy doesn't get any reinforcements during the fight. So this way, from the left-hand side, there were more fairies coming in. In the next fight, we're not gonna have Huntress though, so damage against Fiend is certainly limited. Also, the Wand of the Wind won't be there on either side. Lich level 3, good inventory, once again, good damage. And Foggy, what do you do with your map control? He's not investing into a town portal no more. He's staying close to his expansion because there's quite some experience.
Lots of great items here to find. And the red camp. Best one, probably movement speed. Yeah, definitely move speed.
Endurance Aura, Unholy Aura, and Legion Doomhorn it is. Happy on the other side. He always looks for damage. Gets the Talisman, which is +4, and a little more sustain, which against Foggy is always good because we know that he really, really, really wants this Lich off the map. So decent. Not bad, not too bad, not too great.
Yeah, anything that buffs up the Lich is always super value for Happy because his Lich control, the amount of value he gets out of his Lich is just absolutely insane.
Would love to know what item this was. Claws, I guess, as well. Don't underestimate the damage of the Alchemist. We don't see Heal Spray here, but Chemical Rage. And with Chemical Rage, you get a lot of attack speed. And if you look at the average damage, that is at the moment at 73. Like, the max roll at least. And with incredible attack speed, this can hurt. Claws +9, by the way. The Lich is getting pimped up.
That's an excellent find. Probably the best one you could have hoped for right there. Level 3 on the Dark Ranger. For level 2 Silence? Level 2 Black Arrow. I think that is absolutely not the right choice.
You don't get...
Maybe
like,
just
You don't
muscle
get
memory.
Black Arrow from anything. Like,
Yeah.
there's a
For
little bit of
creeping-
bonus damage then.
Yeah. That's definitely not the right choice, I'm pretty sure, but shouldn't make or break the game, I guess.
Level 5 Alchemist. Will he make or break the game?
Definitely gonna be a big help. He's gonna be slowed down by Frost Armor if Happy does it well, which we can assume he will, but the minus armor definitely helps. Level 5 Alchemist strong, don't get me wrong, but it's not a Demon Hunter late game, so Happy can still outplay Foggy here if he does it very well. Happy managed to get it back up to 60, and now gets the magical level up of level 4. Level 2 Aura is unlocked. A lot more kiting potential.
The love you have for level 4s, man. It's incredible. And justified! Lich level 4, more damage. DK level 4, Unholy Aura 2. And in the hands of Happy, that is a weapon. Of course, the Lich as well, because then he can eat his own units and get more mana and get more Nova, and that hurts the heroes more. Happy again, early scout. Second base will probably be shut down, and yeah, Foggy already canceling it.
Happy getting a big army here. Fiends on 1-1 upgrades, that's decent. Not super amazing. He could afford another upgrade here in a second. Fiend count quite high. Foggy trying to come in for the flank. Wants to make it hard for these fiends to kite perfectly. So let's see how good the kiting is. First fiend in trouble right away, but there's a coil to save it. Another one in the front line, though, is getting taken out. Destroyers very far forward as well. One is lost. It's just so many fairy dragons. Another coil flies through, but it's not enough to keep all of these fiends alive. The fairy count is just insane. 74 of them, and 2 attack upgrades as well. For the first time in forever, Happy might be losing against mass air. Foggy might be on his way to do it here, what seemed impossible before. Focusing once again now on the heroes as the fiend count is dropping lower and lower. Statues are being forced out of the fight. At this insanely high of an air count, it's so hard to keep this army alive, even for a player like Happy. Running out of mana here quickly as well on the DK. There's only 1 or 2 coils left, but I suppose after that a mana potion as well. Hardly any kills going Happy's way. Lich still on close to level 4. Has to use the potion here to stay alive. Now the silence comes through. Limits the aggressive potential for Foggy by a little bit, but still so many fairies. Last statue taken out. Only remaining course of action for Happy. It's probably going to be hero kill now. Can he find it? No, he's going to be losing his hero. And the game. GG. 1-1.
Perhaps I should be a coach, guys. I mentioned it to you. This mass air. I often saw it as like the one thing that I thought could give Foggy a chance. He brings it out here on Last Refuge, and quite convincingly. Usually when Foggy plays against Undead and Happy, it's a lot of Demon Naga with a Keeper thrown here in here. Sometimes, on certain maps, maybe Last Refuge, maybe Echo Isle, but now that looked super convincing the whole way. And honestly, I wonder, like, was his game plan to do this only on this map, or does having one with this, maybe he does it now depending on the map? It's interesting, by the way, Fairy Dragon on Wikipedia, it says the Fairy Dragon is an anti-spellcaster unit. I guess Undead heroes are spellcasters, right?
Statues, I suppose.
Kind of. I've rarely seen Happy getting owned in a fight like this. Yeah, there was a coil here and there, but for 1 coil, 1.5 units were falling. It's very, very rare that Happy can't save his units or prolong their life until, like, he really can't anymore. It was just, he dropped 20 supply in, what, 20 seconds? That was sick. You tend to think that Fairy Dragons don't have the necessary damage, but they absolutely do. And Foggy makes this a series. It's 1-1, game 3 coming up. Happy and Foggy tied up 1-1. Whoever wins the next map is gonna get match points. This is psychologically a very important map. And what map do we have next, guys?
Twisted Meadows.
Oh,
and I think
yeah.
the safe play would be to go Demon Hunter Naga and play standard, but there's a chance for a keeper, maybe with a different builds. I mean, the thing is that you can't really enchant for creeping safely a first camp unless you want to gamble that maybe it's going to be cross map and you can get away with it. There's also some very specific builds that you can only play on Twisted Meadows with many expansions and that kind of stuff, but against Happy, it's so hard to pull off this kind of style. But Foggy definitely has many different strategies he could pick from here.
Yeah, I love this, seeing this map now for Foggy. Foggy knew this was going to be left in the pool. He was going to veto Northern. Happy was going to veto Turnus, almost 100%. So he has something specific prepared now for this crazy map Twisted. What's it going to be?
Do you think what I think, Remo? Do you think tower push, Remo?
Not really.
Oh.
I think that won't work again.
Remember this ESL Cup final?
Bag.
Dude, that was crazy. It was so close. And maybe with a little bit of better execution, Foggy could be able to take it. We are on Twisted Meadows, ladies and gentlemen, winning the second map and making this a best of 3 in the yellow for the Night Elves for Sparks. It's Foggy. In the bottom right, once again in the red for Mother Russia, losing his 3rd map in the tournament, is Happy.
We have Happy opening up with the same build. DK, Ted Fiends, or Happy build as we call it nowadays. With 4 ghouls. It's a keeper once again by Foggy. Looks like a Hunter's opening. Unless he wants to go mega crazy Tree of Life first. We have seen that before.
I'm
But
super
more
excited,
likely.
man. Yeah. Keeper hunts the normal opening. Question is mass hunts and some kind of push or the mass air again. The more often you play a strategy against Happy, the more likely it is he hard counters it soon.
Yeah, and that's what I'm really curious to see here. I'm convinced that against this Huntress into Fairy play, Gogs are the best thing. That seems to be what 1-0 has discovered for himself as well in his matches against Moon. Happy can sometimes be a little bit stubborn with his build adjustments, although he has become more flexible over the years. So if he refuses to go Gargoyles, this could be a winning strategy for Foggy. 2, maybe 3 maps in a row.
Okay, look at this. He's just rushing over, distracting the decay, forces a coil, forces a little bit of mana, but also there's not much to do for him here, except that he's waiting for his hunts, and Happy is scouting already, looking for expansions, because Foggy has had some builds where, as a surprise, the first tree he builds is a Tree of Life, so good for Happy to check on that.
Foggy could go for some mind games, keep the Wisp up here, maybe bring in a second Wisp, and perhaps go for a Tree of Life all the way to the left of the map. That would of course be far away from his main, in hopes of not getting scouted, but perhaps it might just get scouted. We have Foggy here, however, teching, not going for a Tree of Life too early. His tech is slower than the Undead's, understandable, with the Huntress build here he's opening with, but more and more hunts will be coming, and with that Foggy will claim map control, but Happy shows that I have no need to worry. He is willing to switch up his builds, going double crypt, now going into guards.
When will Foggy see this? And what is Foggy's reaction? This is gonna be interesting. Second unadverse Night Elf we see on Twisted, second times we see Gargs. Oh boy.
Yep, earlier we saw it by 1-0 against Sini. There was a very clear victor there in 1-0.
Foggy Expo in the north. This is exactly what Happy should be scouting for. This skeleton will probably expire on the left-hand side, but what about this one? If he kills him now and put a lot of emphasis on his... Oh, he stops it. Maybe Happy was moving with a click, so the hunt distracts once again, just like he did with the creeps on Last Refuge. And Happy won't have confirmation that this is happening.
I don't get why the DK is looking so scared. He's playing the DK as if he doesn't have a TP. Why is he not daring to go out on the map? Is he afraid of a push? He's scouting for APs outside his main, so he has it in the back of his head that this is a possibility.
Yeah, he was on the receiving end of that before and was a crazy 15-minute tower push where Happy lost all but like 4 buildings or something and still was able to hold. Absolutely sensational. But so far, no, and he again has no confirmation of what what Foggy is doing.
A player's forces are under attack.
Feels a little confused. 0 experience at the arrival of tier 2. But now it's Garg time. Happy with Gargs.
Yeah, rare to see. But in this kind of game against keeper hunts, just makes all the sense in the world. Finally, Happy's gonna have something to bring out on the map. Won't have to babysit his fiends in his base the whole time and fall so far behind in experience like it was map 1. Now the skeleton sees the tree in the north. Too late to cancel, but certainly still in time to come harass with gargoyles.
I'm really curious to see Happy microing with Gargs and macroing with Gargs. Demon Hunter second now, Ancient of Wind. So, against Gargs you can't play fairies, right? That
Correct.
can't work. So you gotta go into mass air yourself with Hippo Riders. And then, should you go Thorns Aura? I mean, what
Maybe.
do Treants do?
Treants really don't do anything. Outside of creeping.
Yeah. Wait a minute. With the help of the Gargs and maybe the creeps? You can threaten this expansion as there's no Nature's Blessing. Foggy has to react for sure. Lich arrival now. Of course, no orb. No tier 3 tech by Happy. Stays on tier 2.
Yeah, Alchemist second, this time definitely required. Normally I'm a bigger fan of Demon Hunter, but here now you need air attack. Alchemist does have that as the only melee hero in the game.
Then he cancelled the Demon Hunter and got the Alchemist.
Oh, I didn't even see the demon being produced, but yeah, that makes sense.
Colonel
It's the
Nova
air
here.
attack.
Good spell pressure by Happy. Acid Bomb kicks the DK. There's another Entangle, but Colonel Nova has to TP out. And that is floodgates open towards this Tree of Life. Oh,
And the question is, how heavily does Happy commit here to this push? He could transition to tier 3 at some point. This is already a decent delay, but I suppose he wants to delay this Tree of Life as much as he can. Ideally even kill it while we have Hippogriffs coming out. Hippogriffs are a little bit stronger than Gargoyles. They will win the 1v1, but of course right clicks come in, Orb comes in, Nova comes in. But Nova is pretty much not going to be available for the next couple of seconds because the Lich is dry at the moment.
okay. Decent distraction. Foggy needs some wisps over there to repair. And maybe even to detonate against the skeleton as Happy turning around. Foggy trying to accumulate an army. He doesn't send the hippos in super early. I like that. The gargoyles are already hurt from the acid bomb. Can he keep this tree alive though? Yeah, definitely. 2 heroes, skeletons. That's no lethal damage. Couple of wisps falling here. Oh, Foggy the juggler. Nice. So, how would you analyze this early game? How would you interpret it?
Good adjustment by Happy. Goes the Gargs, which he needed to. Who's ahead here? Hard to tell.
Yeah, right.
Foggy doesn't have the expansion up, but the expansion is standing, at least in the Tree of Life. Experience-wise, there's nothing anywhere. Well, the Keeper, I guess, is close to 2. But levels are super low, which is gonna favor the Night Elf here the longer it goes, because the Undead heroes only really shine on higher levels.
Happy on the way to tier 3 is supply stuck and is not building another Ziggurat. So this is the last hippo. Definitely time for Foggy to catch up or he is already ahead in supply. Rare macro mistake. So of course, damage on the ground is very, very limited. You don't want to fight the Gargs when your army is slowed from the Nova, and there is a very limited amount of Nova, while this Alchemist can spam the Acid Bomb. If you engage into an Acid Bombed Garg army, that's the dream.
I would love to see Happy committed to this fight at some point. Normally, Hippos versus Gargs, almost everyone just A-clicks. But Happy isn't everyone, so I wonder how he's going to micro this. Going in, target fire, one after the next. both losing units.
Here's the acid bomb, though. Can't continue fighting. Some lethal damage here, and Foggy seems to be taking more and more Gargs out. I feel like it is time for Happy to transition.
Yeah, the question is, did he commit too hard to Gargoyles? This was absolutely a ton of Gargs. He didn't have the aura, so the Gargs weren't that fast. Hippos are naturally a little faster than Gargs. Well, wait a minute. Maybe nowadays it's not the case anymore, but Happy is still getting chased. And has to transfer the TP.
He has another Entangle. There's a TP on the Lich. He has to go for it soon. And does it immediately as the roots get out of the ground. So now close to the Garg home. Don't want to fight this anymore. 50 supply, Foggy. Expo still not up. This investment has never paid off. And now we got tier 3 undead.
Happy is refusing to transition. Shouldn't he just go mass Frenzy Ghouls right now? There's nothing to do with Frenzy Ghouls. There's 3 hunts, but they're just gonna get obliterated.
Feels like this would be a proper approach. Yeah, but against Acid Bomb, that also feels weird.
But Acid Bomb is only good if there's also some kind of army putting in right clicks. At the moment, it's only Hippos. There's nothing against ghouls outside of these couple of hunts.
Yeah, hunts are pretty good against ghouls, though.
Yeah, but it's only 3 against Frenzy Ghouls.
Yeah, I mean,
Frenzy Ghouls.
In general.
Yeah, in the early game. We have level 2 now finally reached for Happy. He's got the Aura and Dark Ritual. Rare to see. Nowadays it's almost always Frost Armor, but in this kind of game I imagine Dark Ritual makes more sense. Big healing potion, amazing, and also Mantle. Very good drops here for Happy.
Dude, if this is a Vamp Aura soon and Happy continues to commit to Gargs, I'm gonna lose my mind.
Well, here comes the Creep Jack. Maybe Foggy doesn't have the time to get the item. Of course, with Hippos, you also don't creep very fast now, do you?
Nope.
2 fairies should be easy kills.
1-0 upgrade for the Gargs. Nothing on the Hippos, but upgrades are coming.
DK.
Roll with the Magi, more damage for the Lich. That's +9. +14, I guess.
Alright. Happy is pretty much all in over here. Foggy denies a Huntress to get more supply for more Hippos.
Happy has Nature's Blessing. Foggy, of course. This Entangled Gold Mine is finally finishing. He wants to buy more time. He wants to distract Happy even more, but Happy says, not in my house, Foxter. I'm gonna kick that.
The key moment here is gonna be Foggy will try to fight with Acid Bomb. Happy will try to avoid it, and Happy will try to do the same with Frost Nova.
Big damage on that tree. When does he have... Oh, Acid Bomb is ready, but the Hippos, they were a little exposed, I guess. Big air fight right there. Foggy is plummeting in supply. The Nova comes in. Huge damage. We saw a heal scroll, but I think Happy is taking it, or is he? Hippos do great damage, of course. Upgrades maybe a little too late, and yes, Happy reigns in the air now.
Yeah, very clear fight here after that brawl. It's still 7 Gargoyles left, which is absolutely outstanding for Happy. Going for the heroes now. Alchemist in trouble. Has to make it back to the Moonwells. Foggy's still mining off of 2 bases.
Coil, not enough! Gargs, so quick. The ghouls as well. Chemical Rage is just a tiny bit too late. And Twisted seems to be going Happy's way. The adjustment was the right one. How do you catch up on anti-air now if you're Foggy?
Well, you can only do it if you hold on to this Tree of Life. Foggy can't do it anymore. He knows he can't do it on 1 base, and it's over. GG. 2-1 for Happy.
Woo. That last fight, I wasn't quite sure whose way was gonna go, but it felt like Foggy maybe got a little overeager, maybe panicked a little bit because his tree was under attack, and it was gonna die pretty quickly, despite having Nature's Blessing. So you have to wonder, though, if he fought a little better here at the end, you know, maybe if he has Thorn's Aura as well, it might have been able to help a little bit. It would have gone better, but these games are going down to small details. That Creep Jack at the Merchant, Happy gets the item, he gets the big creep, he gets Death Knight level 3 from it. If that alone doesn't happen, we could be looking at a very different game.
Okay, we will be looking at a different game in around about 3 minutes. It's 2-1 for the Emperor, the European champion, on his way to his second semi-final. Foggy, what's left in the tank now that mass air is figured out? Stay with us. Match points, Emperor. Here we go. 2-1 for Happy. Very, very cool, high-skilled series here between the two that met so often. So, was this the one Joker Foggy had for this quarterfinal? Was this the build that he prepared for 5 days, or is there more?
I think regardless of that, last game wasn't so much about the build as much as it was the execution. And Happy is still a beast with the execution. So, yeah, regardless of what style Foggy plays, whether it's Demon Naga here or a Masser style, I think he just has to be better with the execution regardless, because Happy is the one making fewer mistakes in those games so far.
All right. Interesting. Everyone has lost the map he picked. For Foggy, it was both Amazonia and Twisted. For Happy, it was Last Refuge. And as you can see, this is Concealed Hill now. Happy's pick. I wouldn't mind to make this a full distance, full out best of 5. But the odds are a little bit stacked against Foggy now. Happy with the lead, Happy with the match points, Happy's map. So where do we go? First to CH. Happy in the upper right, 1 map away from the semi-final. Foggy, 1 map from being eliminated in the quarters. He wanted to make it further here in summer, but he could end up 1 round prior than last time. Only quarterfinals. So what's next? What's up? What's happening?
A bit of a surprise here, I must say. Happy is opening with a ghoul build. An old school ghoul build. With a fast crypt, the hero is going to be slightly delayed, going right away into lots of ghouls, and that might be in anticipation of what Foggy is going to do. Mass archers are very popular nowadays on this map. We're starting off with a keeper, which definitely makes archers unlikely. Mass archers, tier 3 marksmanship and so on. Normally you play that with a demon hunter. I think mind games are coming into play right here. Moon really likes playing demon. Mass archers with marksmanship with an expansion on this map. It's playable, but hard to pull off. And perhaps Happy's read is that Foggy is going to do just that right now. Even the scouts in the middle are playing around each other. Wisp gets a little bit of a slap, but will get the information. And he will see the fast ghoul build, and that should be favoring Foggy, kind of. Ghouls, especially in the hands of Happy, also very dangerous early with a ghoul flood towards the main looking for surrounds, but the keeper with a fast entangle is a very good answer to that.
Alrighty. Entangles the Acolyte first to make sure that this last hit is going to the keepers of first blood for the Night Elf once again. The Wisp will very, very likely see the ghoul build early with the DK here. 2 ziggurats, of course. How hard will he commit? How late will he tech?
Yeah, quite late indeed. Bringing out 3 ghouls here for the creep. You can also do this creep camp with only skeletons and DK, but then the Wisp detonate might be quite painful.
Foggy finds it. There's 1 ghoul very hurt. The pigeons are flying. Damage will be done. But how much? How much mana does he want to save? How much entangle does he want to spam? No one holy aura at the moment, so every hit hurts.
I wonder if he's gonna go Gargs. All the Night Elf players viewing this game right now are like, oh, please don't do it, Happy. Please don't do it. If you play Gargs, so many more people are gonna play Gargs. Star-shaped over in Sweden having a bit of a mental breakdown right now. But this map is basically made for gargoyles.
Can you get a last?
At the red camps, there's 2 drakes, which can be easily crept with Garg. Good experience and item there. Expansion is coming, but instantly seen with a skeleton. And unlike with a Happy build, with this ghoul build, you absolutely do have aggressive potential. Yes. This could very well be getting cancelled.
Yeah, it was already a problem for Foggy to get the expansion up on Twisted. And now this could very, very well happen again. He sees the ghouls move to the south. He's blocking the keeper. There's no staff. He has to walk or TP all the way. I'll just say hello to these ghouls, but damn, they're getting ghosted.
Yeah, maybe you can get 1 or 2 ghouls at best. But yeah, this will be a cancel most certainly. Foggy knows he can't hold the expansion. Question is, how expensive can he make it for Happy? Doesn't have that many archers yet, so not so easy to find that many kills.
Treants. He is trying to hold it, but now with the skeletons and no dispel against them easy. One ghoul down again. Detonate, also nice, but in the end, it is a cancel, as you said. No more entangle, so he has to get the damage done with right clicks. Archer's in a decent position. Kind of feels like Foggy was aware that this is a possibility.
Yeah, so far only 2 ghouls died. That is totally fine. Another coil flies. That ghoul is saved. And the archers might be in trouble. Yep, there is a dust. These are probably dead. Foggy, though, good micro once again, trying to save them as best as he can.
Not really.
Once again, both playing a very solid game here.
Okay, with the first game plan out of the window, where do we go from here? How do we transition? How does he catch up? Hunter's Hall. No mass air then. Demon Hunter second it is. He has displayed very, very, very good Dryad micro. As good as we've never seen before, probably.
Yeah, if you go Keeper Demon, suddenly you do have a decently strong late game hero combo. You can play Mass Dryad expansion. You can go tier 3 with Bears. You can transition then into Mountain Giants. This is where I think Lawlight looked the strongest recently in Asia, going Keeper, Demon, possibly even a third hero. I don't know, Naga maybe, but that's something that's still being experimented with. But the mana burn is too important. If you want to stay head-to-head in power with the undead in the late game, you need that mana burn. And yeah, Dryads and MGs is at least what Lawlight looked the best with recently. We'll see what Foggy does here.
Okay. DK has a staff, so a couple of expenses in the early game. On the other side, the graveyard was a tiny bit late. No Fiend yet. The rush to tier 3, Slaughterhouse coming as well. Staff out immediately after the entangle, but gets the first mana burn of the game out. Creeping time. Natural expansion, creeping time for both.
With the staff hopping right over, that was very quick here, the transition over towards the natural. Gonna be level 3 DK. Demon Hunter progress is gonna be crucial for Foggy here to get. Ideally he wants to get level 3 Keeper as well, but then solo creep the Demon if possible. On this map though, it's not that easy. All the camps are pretty damn hard. The green camps, of course, are doable for the Demon solo and maybe the Merchant, but taking out the Lab or the red camps with only one hero is going to be very tough. But the level 2 mana burn will be needed very, very soon.
Yeah, so how do you do that? You have limited anti-air as well, so Fountain maybe not your number 1 option. Shop, okay, but doesn't give too much experience. Best bet, red spot in the middle, but that is also predictable. Wow, if Remo doesn't know the answer immediately, then it's a really tough question. I was kind of confused.
I was like, where the hell is the Ancient of War? But it's at the lab. Okay. So...
Lost in
the
your own
Demon still gets level 2 here. There's more stuff to be found soon. Oh, a lot of damage on the Keeper. With another block. That might be a TP forced over here. Oh, the sheep comes in. Yeah, that is definitely a TP forced.
There's no staff. There's a invul though. Maybe he can save it.
Oh.
Coronova switches the target. Wants to get rid of the damage. New skeleton wants to stay in this fight. Wants to get more kills. Getting burned a lot for this. The first Dryad, of course, crowd control. But the statue is there for healing.
Demar doing what he can, but the damage isn't that high. No claws, no gloves or circlet or anything. So this statue is doing a good job healing against all of this. Skeleton still chasing the archers away. Foggy, now Happy has seen a staying tier 2 going mass Dryads, which is strong right now for the expansion defense, but will fall off later.
Did Foggy buy enough time for the expo this time? There's the Wisp, there's the Moonwell. Tree is ready, but feels like Happy is getting in punching distance. Just cleaning the way, and then we're ready to go. Frenzy coming, Destroyer coming. Something will bring an orb, I'm very sure. Both are gathering power for the big fights.
It's gonna come down a lot to micro here. How well can Foggy deflect this attack? Frenzy Ghouls don't do the best against Dryads. If the Dryad micro is on point, Foggy might be the victor here. He's level 3 Demon now, very important. No boots, but he has the invul. Expansion about to mine. Very nice Wisp Scout. He's happy on his way south. So Foggy knows what's coming. Still attempting the Ogre Lord.
Yeah.
Once again, Foggy trying to creep as much as he can. And he's probably going to come in with a TP for the defense.
Won't give him a level up, but the Unholy Aura. Again, movement speed, HP regen. Will that help him in the fight? Probably not. If he survives, it's gonna be great though. Nova hits almost everything. Focus fire on the Keeper of the Grove. There's an immo potion on the Demon Hunter. Swaps it soon. He has to swap it soon. Otherwise the Keeper will hit the deck, but no. Staff out. Tinker third. He really wants to knock down this expansion.
Demon and Dryad, do they have enough damage? There's so much stuff for the undead on the field. The Frenzy Ghouls haven't been taken out too fast at all. And the Dryad numbers are dwindling. Not even to mention the Archers. They are just completely evaporating. The Demon Hunter has good DPS, but everyone else rather underwhelming. Chasing after the DK here. He's fast himself with the Aura. But the Death Knight still has a couple of coils to use. It's about draining the mana here for Foggy and then hoping that a superior production will help him hang on to this expansion. But it's hard to micro all of this. Dryad, we see him falling one after the next. The Demon in trouble. Invul potion used, and with that he survives. Demon did his job. Mana is burned, but Foggy lost so much in the process.
Yeah, there's still ghouls. Uh-oh, this is not looking good. This looks like a knockout. He goes for one last shopping trip. The expansion at 50%. No Nature's Blessing. At the moment, no repair. The Pocket Factory is still up. The Clockworks are coming in. The repair may be too late. Maybe, definitely. Tree down without mining too much. This was not worth it. We're down to one base, and Foggy with one leg out of the tournament.
The Tinker third, so rarely seen nowadays. In the past, we saw it all the time, but with the nerfs of the Tinker, not so much anymore nowadays. But against the mass Archer and Expo play, we see that the Tinker still can be very strong in the right situation. And now Foggy losing the expansion. He can't transition too well. He doesn't have tier 3, no Mountain Giants or Bears or anything, not even an Orb, just Dryads and his 2 heroes. Trying to go for the Tinker now, but a quick dispel against the Entangle. And that hero, even if it's lost, is not that painful for Happy. As he's staying in this fight, still Frenzy Ghoul somehow alive. Demon in trouble, needs to be really careful. Staff is there, he survives, but the Moonjas is looking rough.
Foggy is taking one punch after the next. He's trapped in the corner. He's bleeding, he's bruised. The coach is about to throw in the towel, but not yet. Not yet. He's called Foggy Balboa for a reason. But he's supply stuck. He's at one base. He's on 2 heroes, and he's in tier 2.
And now Happy, having killed off this expansion, has bought a lot of time for himself. Knows that he can go heavily now into creeping. Level 2 on the Tinker, level 3 on the Lich. And level 4 in the DK. Is he gonna get 3 level ups right here? Oh, yes he is. Oh,
That's
my
pretty good.
lordy.
That's 1. That's 2. Ah!
Actually,
Okay.
Forces are under attack.
3 XP missing.
Braces for the Tinker. Not too useful. To lose this game, Happy has to make big mistakes. Yeah. As if.
At least Foggy's going tier 3. You know, he's gonna have the orb soon. He might be able to go into MG soon. His army will become a lot stronger. Is it strong enough? The Tinker also that Happy played might fall off if Foggy can stabilize here in the ultra late game. Tinker is good against Dryad Expo, but against Mountain Giant, I'm not sure. I don't think so necessarily. But now pushing into the base, for that the Tinker is certainly good. And Foggy doesn't have a TP. Oh, he bought one. Coming home.
He just arrived at tier 3. He can go for a Mountain Giant maybe, but there's no upgrades yet. There's no orb yet. He didn't, the tier 3 didn't pay off at all. But he has Moonwells. He's at home. He gets instant reinforcements. This is the best position he can get.
Happy doing a great job keeping his heroes at max range, throwing Coil Nova after one after the next onto the Demon Hunter. He does have the Rune Bracers, which for him is amazing. And is healing up more and more. Foggy, does he not have money for the orb?
Nope.
He
Now he got it. He was saving at 325. Here we go. Adds a lot of damage. Still has a heal scroll. Still has an invo potion. But he's also 13 supply behind.
Pocket Factory is sniped fairly fast. Not yet, I guess.
Still no Nature's Blessing. Could snipe this Ancient very quickly if he wants to. That's exactly what he does. Disease Cloud Abomination. Is that the unit that puts the nail in the coffin?
Foggy needs Reju. Really bad. But he doesn't have bears coming. Only Moon Juice here, what the Night Elf can make use of. So hard for the Demon to find the way properly into the fight. Dryad's also not much damage. Demon Hunter has the invul, may have to use it soon. Getting focused. Invul required, waits for the last second. And now he's going to be invulnerable for at least 7 seconds, but what after? Heal Scroll as well. Dryad staying alive for now. A-Bomb though in the thick of things. Disease is being spread everywhere. More Destroyers coming in. Easy dispels. Happy doesn't seem to be losing anything. And is finding more and more Dryad kills.
He's choking him out. Slowly but steady. He's not going for the flashy finishing move from the top rope, but rather a submission move and it's getting closer and closer. The arm is falling once. The arm is falling twice. And we're just waiting for the knockout. Expo on the back of things as well. Happy is just so rock solid.
Demon's gonna run out of healing here pretty soon, by the way. He's got one more potion, but that might be the last one in the shop. Oh, big heal right there from one more Moonwell in the back. Foggy needs to get something big. He needs to get a hero kill on the Lich or something to come back into this game.
Feels impossible. Demon Hunter has a potion. He's trying so hard. Mana burn, right clicks, everything. The Lich has an invul and a save. Can't say the same about the Keeper. Can't say the same about the Demon Hunter. Can't say the same about the Lore. I think we're gonna see a shaking head very, very soon.
Foggy's holding his own here. During nighttime, he's regening, but it's gonna be daytime very, very soon. The Lich! Damn close to dying, but so is the Keeper. I think Happy was baiting it right there.
Can he get a range attack out on that Lich? Maybe with a potion on the Keeper. Can he afford it? Foggy has 500 gold. Maybe they're out of stock. Demon Hunter goes in. TP gets him away. Is there something to nuke? No. Foggy survives.
All right. Amazing, honestly, by Foggy that he doesn't die right there. But the game is still over. It's GG. Happy does it again.
Big frustration on the camera there. We saw it shaking his head. That was not the day, unfortunately. Once again, Happy wins a best of 5.